Vitamin K is a whole new story, and it really should be titled Vitamin K2. So I'm going to tell you the story tonight. So I want you to go home. Everybody here's job is to go home and tell their friends and tell everybody you know, because 100% of you should be on vitamin K. So here's my 30-second bio. I grew up in India till I was 18 years old. I went to a British boarding school. I did pretty traditional medicine for 25 years, so I know internal medicine, emergency medicine, cold. I was the medical director at St. Luke's and Sinai. And then I started and I came over to the light side and began to realize that medicine today, as it's currently practicing, is a problem. And so I got board certified in a couple different forms of anti-med, and I've done a fellowship and all that stuff. So there's Weston Price. All right. He's born in Canada, practiced in Cleveland for about 50 years, got to be bored with his practice. He got tired of drilling teeth in kids. And he says, there's parts of the world where people don't have cavities. And he was curious. So he went all around the world taking pictures. He went, how did modern humans get cavities in bad misaligned teeth? Well, so this is where Weston Price went, all over the world, to every place he could find where people didn't have Western food. And what he observed was they all had square faces and healthy arches in their mouths and full face. They never had to have wisdom teeth pulled. They never got cavities. They never got tuberculosis. They didn't get cancer. They didn't have heart disease. But first of all, they had healthy teeth until they got exposed to Western food. And then the first thing that would come would be tooth decay and then dental arch defects and then gum disease and then heart disease and then diabetes. And then before you know it, they had all sorts of other wicked things. Now, if you go onto Google, in Google, Weston Price pictures, you can get dozens of these pictures. And he looked at all these look at her beautiful symmetrical face, nice and even, lovely teeth, and still they start eating Western food. And their teeth go to hell in a handbasket, okay? And so he asked the question, why are these people so healthy? He found some common threads. Food that can be transported long distance, stored without spoiling, rice, white flour, sugar, vegetable fat, canned goods, is trouble. Causing lousy teeth, crowded dental arches, cavities, and eventually tuberculosis. And that was sort of the marker disease for him. He decided it was the absence of some essential factor. At that time he didn't know K, but he knew A, D, and E. So he said, okay, I'm going to focus on the fat-soluble vitamins. So he comes back to America, and that was back in the 1930s. So he said there's some activator, there's something in there. So he comes back to America and he makes what he calls Activator X. An Activator X is made from two ingredients. So he got the butterfat of cows eating rapidly growing green grass. And he got butter oil from them and he mixed that with cod liver oil. And cod liver oil has high vitamin A and vitamin D in it. And guess what he did? He cured cavities. Can you imagine curing a cavity with a supplement? Curing. I'm going to show you pictures. He published x-rays showing that in fact, he stopped drilling teeth. It wasn't until 2007, though, that we made the connection what he had found was vitamin K2. But here's an example of 20 teeth, but I've got a better one. Here's one cavity. It gets a filling, but now an Activator X is filling in itself and healing. Here's what K2 does. What does K2 do? It activates protein responsible for calcium and phosphorus deposition in bones and teeth. It directs childhood infant growth by preventing premature calcification of cartilage and bones, so your face can be a full arch. So it's critical while you're pregnant to have K2. It plays an important role in reproduction. Sperm have very high levels of osteocalcin, which is dependent on K2. It activates proteins that cells are signaled to produce by vitamins A and D. So it works in partnership with vitamin A and D. So it's not a separate vitamin, it's really integral. It's almost like there's the KAD complex. It protects mouth, teeth, and gums and saliva. It protects against calcification, inflammation of blood vessels, and accumulation of plaque. It helps make myelin sheath on nerve cells. There's fascinating evidence now coming out about multiple sclerosis, about Alzheimer's, about all sorts of brain disease stuff, and K2. Okay, the conundrum, too much calcium in arteries, too little in bones. Why? Both processes are caused by inadequate K2. There's a strong association between osteoporosis and Alzheimer's, and a strong association in blood levels for folks with Alzheimer's. We know that K2 helps your brain myelinate itself and keep the cells wrapped properly. So, conclusion. K2 is a critical vitamin that has missed the radar. We lost it because it was confused with K1 and blood clotting. It involves calcium metabolism, pulling it out of arteries where it shouldn't be, and into bones where it should be. It helps myriad other functions as well. Diabetes, cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, labor and delivery, all are associated with deficiency. So thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate it. If you'd like to get my business card or whatever, and I've got letters, okay, appreciate it.